What's up, my Essential Unit? It's Essential Man here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. So last year I reviewed WrestleMania 22. Last week I reviewed the 2006 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. The Royal Rumble is the first pay-per-view to kick off the road to WrestleMania. So I'm trying to fill up the gaps, fill in the final piece of the jigsaw of the road to WrestleMania in 2006. So in this video, I'm going to review the 2006 No Way Out show at the First Mariners Arena. Right now it's called the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, on the 19th of February 2006. The attendance for this show was 11,000. This show received about 218,000 pay-per-view buys, a downgrade than the 2005 No Way Out show. The main event of that show was JBL versus The Big Show inside of a barbed wire steel cage match for the WWE Championship. I also covered No Way Out 2005 last year on this channel. Go and check it out. I think that show received about 240,000 pay-per-view buys. The commentators for the show are Michael Cole and Taz. This is the final pay-per-view before WrestleMania 22. Let's do a quick result of the dark match. The dark match, you had the Boogeyman, Jesus Christ, defeating Simon Dean. Simon Dean is formerly known as Nova, part of the BWO in ECW. He was doing the fitness guru gimmick at the time. So the first match to kick off the show, we had I think it was a 9-man Cruiserweight open match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Gregory Helms, the champion, defending the belt against Paul London and Brian Kendrick. The two members of Mexicools, that is Super Crazy and Psychosis. You had Nunzio represent the FBI, the full-blooded Italians. I think they're still around at the time in 2006. Yeah, they appeared at the 2006 One Act Stand pay-per-view, and then I think one or two matches when ECW was coming back as the third brand. You had Funaki and Sky Tuhati and Kid Cash. So Gregory Helms, formerly known as the Hurricane, won the belt at the Royal Rumble the previous month. This match for me, before we get to this match, there is no bad matches on the show. We'll get to my final rating at the end of this review. No bad matches. This was the weakest match of the show, in my opinion. I feel like this match is a clusterfuck. The 6-man Cruiserweight Open and this Cruiserweight Open in this show was very clusterfuck. It's just like too many Cruiserweights. If they just did like a triple threat or fatal 4-way, or do like a gauntlet style match, I think they might accomplish something. But this was just clusterfuck. But besides that, I'm not saying it's a bad match. I think it was I say a little bit better than the 6-man Cruiserweight Open at the Royal Rumble the previous month. But still, I feel like it's just the first half of the match was just punch, punch, punch. Just I feel like it was a bit mediocre and a bit of a clusterfuck. You do have some Cruiserweight moments in the match. You had Kid Cash hit like a Hurricane Runner onto, I think it was Funaki. I think. You had London and Kendrick doing their move off the top rope onto the other competitors, and then also the members of the Mexicools. That was a crappy gimmick, Mexicools. That is, I think there was 3 in that group: Super Crazy, Psychosis, and Juventud Guerrera. Anyway, so they did their spot. It was a bit of a spot fest, to be honest. In the end, Gregory Helms got the victory. And yeah, I knew Gregory Helms retained because he just won the belt at the Royal Rumble. It's just like it wasn't like a decent match, but I felt like it was 9 minutes, but it's just like nine people in one match, man. Overkilling, like I say, if they just did like a triple threat, fatal 4-way, or just a gauntlet style match, you might accomplish anything. They had some moments, with the high fly spots, it's just a spot fest. This was like I said, I think this is the beginning of the end of the Cruiserweights, the original Cruiserweights in WWE, the quality slip. You know, they're getting their ass kicked by the X Division, TNA's X Division at the time. You know, I think like you got some crappy stars like Hoovie's reign was flopped, Kid Cash, Gregory Helms. I think he's trying to be all serious at the time. You know, ditch the Hurricane gimmick. You know, but I think he dropped the belt to Chavo at the following years. I think it was the following year's No Way Out show. He didn't do anything, you know. Yeah, I don't think he did anything in like 2000 and wrestled 2007 and 2008. In 2009, he was back as he was an interviewer in the ECW brand, and he came back as the Hurricane, feuding with Paul Burchill and Katie Lee Burchill. That's Katarina Lee Walters, the future Winter in TNA. But I don't know, man. I think he was. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. I think he tried to make it work. You know, he did. He was the longest reigning cruiserweight champion, but you know, I think he. I don't think he'll be in the. I don't think he'll be. You know, get away from the cruiserweight division. I think if he was United States or IC champion, you know, IC stands for Intercontinental Champion, I think he'll be flopped. I don't know. You know, I think it's just very bland and generic. You know, I give Gregory Helms, Shane Helmsley, give him some credit, but you know, it's just like he was just kind of there. Anyway, I'm rambling, so moving on to the next match. So the next match, we got Bobby Lashley and JBL. We'll get to that shortly. You had Finlay making, I'm guessing this is his first pay-per-view appearance. You know, he was in the company years when WCW was bought out by the WWF in 2001. He was kind of like a trainer behind the scenes, you know, but this is like his first appearance as an active competitor. He kind of complained he was not on the show competing in a match, so he kidnapped Crystal, who's the ring interviewer at the time. So I think he said like, if I cannot pick a fight, I can choose a fight. Yeah, so yeah, he kind of like kidnap Crystal, lift her onto his shoulders and carry her to the ring, and then you got Bobby Lashley come to a rescue, because I think to this day, I think Lashley and Crystal are still together. I think they're married in real life. I think they're still together to this day in our current timeline. I don't know. I think they are. Anyway, so you had JBL's music, you know, playing, and yeah, you had this brawl between Finlay and Lashley, and then JBL joining the brawl, and then I thought it was Lashley Finlay, but instead, yeah, the next match we got Bobby Lashley versus JBL. I thought this was gonna be a clusterfuck. I'll be honest, this was a decent match. This was a decent match between Lashley and JBL. Julian Hall, who's JBL's personal assistant. I think JBL is still doing the whole cabinet faction. I think at that moment in time the cabinet was disbanded. That's why I say disbanded. I was about to say disabled, but I say disbanded. So the group was officially no more. I think Luther Reigns was gone. I think Orlando Jordan was doing his own thing. I think the Bashams, I don't know if they quit or was still back in developmental. They came back in the ECW's the brand as Paul Heyman's like bodyguard. Anyway, so the match was, yeah, like I said, a decent match between JBL and Lashley. JBL was busted in the eye. I think Lashley hit him with a stiff punch. JBL was a locker room leader. It's people say I think there was 2 locker room leaders. Most notable is The Undertaker and JBL. That's another topic for another time. Anyway, so it was in the end. And Finlay came out. He returned, kind of I think he attacked Tony Chimmel, who's the ring announcer at the time. Thrown him into the ring, and then distract the referee. Finlay hit Lashley with the shillelagh, and JBL countered it with the clothesline from hell to score the victory. I think at this moment in time, Lashley was not quite there yet. He was trying to find a character. He was generic at the time. He was like just a generic babyface on the roster, trying to find his character in the company. It's funny that at the end of the year, later on in the year, he was the United States champion, I think. And then yeah, at the end of the year, he was ECW champion, defeating the Big Show in the Elimination Chamber match at December 2006. And then he headlined WrestleMania 23, the Battle of the Billionaires, in that tag team match. Not tag team match. When he faced Umaga, who's the IC champion at the time at WrestleMania the following year in 2007. Anyway, so it was a decent match. I think it's furthering up the rivalry between Finlay and JBL. Not Finlay and JBL. Finlay, Bobby Lashley. I don't think they had a pay-per-view match. I think they probably had matches on SmackDown. They were on the SmackDown brand at the time, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm moving on. So, like I said, decent match. And then we got a tag team match. So we got Eminem. That is Joey Mercury, Johnny Nitro, with Melina in the corner of Mercury and Nitro. They taken on Matt Hardy and Tatanka. This was a fun match between both tag teams. Melina is doing the whole screaming gimmick that got her over. She did interfere, I think, twice in my knowledge, on Tatanka and Matt Hardy. And it's funny, there's one funny moment in this match for me. Melina trying to smack, I think Melina smacked Matt Hardy, and then Matt kind of like, I think he trying to smack, and then Melina is like screaming, like believing that she smacked, Matt smacked her. Anyway, so yeah, the heels got the heat, and babyfaces come back. Tatanka, man, Tatanka, I looked up his age. How old is he at the time? Right now he's 60. He's going to be 61 in June of this year in our current timeline. Back then he was 45 years old. Jesus, the dude's jacked. He's still, I think he can still go in the ring. He came back in 2005, feuding with Eminem. I think he did challenge them for the tag team titles. Anyway, so he did like hold on his own against Mercury and Nitro. In the end, Matt hit the twist of fate. Matt hit the twist of fate, and I think Tatanka hit the Samoan drop on both Mercury and Nitro for the win. They didn't do much of Tatanka afterwards. I looked up his championship accomplishment on his Wikipedia page. He's never won a single championship in the WWE. He's never been. I don't think he's world champion material, Tatanka, but he's never won a single title. I think he won like a Slammy Award, like 94. But besides that, he's never won a single championship in the company. I think he could. It's a shame. In both two runs, like in the 90s, was it 93 to 95? Yeah, I think they were about to push him in 90, like somewhere in the 90s, but there was speculation back in. I said in my review of King of the Ring 95, he was in a allegation that he raped a woman, but it wasn't him. It was Jimmy Del Rey, was the perpetrator who basically raped that woman. I think it's been a long time since I reviewed King of the Ring 1995. I'm gonna redo so many shows. I'm gonna redo. It's my channel. I can do whatever I want. It's just that's for me. Anyway, so yeah, it's a shame he never got like a good run, a good push. Like in the second run, he didn't do much. He left in 2007. Yeah, he came back in 2010, like one-off matches, but never like another run. But anyway, so the first three matches of the show, the cruiserweight title match was okay. JBL Lashley was decent, and the tag team match between Matt Hardy, Tatanka versus Eminem, it was decent. The final three matches of the show kind of brought the show up, the quality of the show. So, so the next match, we got the United States title match. We had, Booker T defending the United States title with Sharmell in his corner against Chris Benoit. So, in late 2005, Benoit and Booker T did like a 7-match series for the United States title. It's basically a callback to what they did in WCW. I think it's for the United States title, or they did trade back and forth with the TV title of that year in 1998. So Booker won the 7-match series. And then he played like in the video package. He was like on crutches. He's like pretending like he had an injury to his leg. Then you had I think like cost Benoit a match. Benoit in the back with the chair, or I think it was the crutch of his crutch or something. It's one or the other. So Benoit won a fatal 4-way match to face Booker T on this show. So he like there was a lot of segments. It was just set up matches. I feel like this show feel like it's a SmackDown on a Sunday. Anyway, so Booker, like earlier before this match, I'm going to talk about Booker T trying to get out of the United States title match. Persuade Theodore Long that I'm still not all ready to compete. Still got an injury. And Teddy Long is not really not like believe Booker's bullshit. Like he's 100% to compete to really defend his United States title. I think he bring up like when he hits Ben. I think Teddy bring up Booker hitting Benoit with a crutch, or something like that. And then Charmel and Booker T doing like saying it's a miracle. And Theodore Long says that you got to defend the United States title or forfeit the title. So yeah, Booker T came out, said he's going to forfeit the title, said I'm not ready to compete, and then he walked out. And also the video package of Booker T Benoit is the theme music was the same theme music if you played SmackDown vs. Raw 2010, the road to WrestleMania 25. So I like that, But anyway, so Booker left the ring, and then Benoit grabbed on the mic, says to Booker T, "Coward, you're not gonna take defeat like a man." And Charmel took the mic off of Benoit, called him like it's all your fault, slapping Benoit. You're not a man like Booker, and you don't deserve the title. And then it was all Parsham, and Booker T attacked Benoit, and the match begins. Really good match between Booker T and Benoit. They had really good chemistry. That's the reason why they did the 7-match series. I think it's for the United States title in both in WCW and WWE. So yeah, it was a really good match, back and forth. Charmel did interfere a bit. I think Benoit kicked out of the scissor kick. I think Booker hit a super kick. He hit a 450 splash. Is that the Harlem Hangover? I don't know. Hit the 450 splash on Benoit. Actually, he missed Benoit got away the last second. So really entertaining, compelling match. So in the end, try to keep it short and simple, folks. In the end, I think Benoit was going for the sharpshooter. Booker kind of pushed him away, and then Benoit accidentally knocked over Charmel. Yeah, in the end, Benoit locked in the sharpshooter onto Booker T, and he transformed it into the triple crossface for the win. So Benoit regains the United States title. I don't know the reason why Benoit locked in the sharpshooter. I'm guessing, I think he was part of the Hart. He trained in the Hart family dungeon. I think he was trained with the Hart. I think he trained with the Hart family dungeon. He did wrestle in Canadian, was it Stampede Wrestling? In the late 80s and the early 90s before going to ECW, then WCW, then WWE. So yeah, Benoit ended up dropping the United States title to JBL at WrestleMania 22. Then he gained the title back. Booker T, he went out really. I think like losing the United States title was a blessing in disguise. He ended up feuding with the Boogeyman at WrestleMania 22. Then in May he defeated Bobby Lashley in the finals of the 2006 King of the Ring tournament, became the King of the Ring winner, and then in the summer at the Great American Bash, defeat Rey Mysterio for the world title. He had a good 2006. That's another topic for another time. So, and then we got Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton, and this is for Rey Mysterio's WrestleMania title opportunity. So, Rey won the 2006 Royal Rumble match the previous month. They're trying to do the whole, basically Rey taking up the mantle of Eddie Guerrero, win it for Eddie. They're basically at this moment in time exploiting the death of Eddie Guerrero. I don't want to get in full details. I'm going to tell it briefly. So Rey come out in that Rumble match, driving Eddie's car, did the Eddie shoulder shake. I call it the FIFA La Rasta shake. You know what Eddie does, and I think it's on SmackDown. You had Orton. Orton said to Ray that Eddie's not in heaven, he's in hell. You know, that is very poor taste because at WrestleMania 22, fans were booing Rey Mysterio. So I hate that. You know, it's just like it's in poor taste. You know, I heard that like with Punk and Undertaker, like exploits the death of Paul Bearer. I think Punk got permission by the Bearer family. So I don't know. I think that was very tasteless. Like I said, I don't want to get in full details on it. So he kind of confronts Kurt Angle. This was a segment from earlier. Said I'm gonna win the world title. I'm gonna people are gonna give me respect. You know, he kind of confronting him. It's like, who do you think you are? And then Angle says, who I think I am. I'm Kurt Angle. I'm the world heavyweight champion. You know, he's in the main event. We'll get to Kurt in the main event after this match I'm going to talk about. The match between Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton, it was a good match. You know, back and forth. It's basically speed over agility. Randy is tall. He's big. He's 6'4". He's doing like mat style wrestling, the technical style. It's basically Rey Mysterio's like lucha libre. I think they had good chemistry. It's a shame they didn't have. I think they had future matches. I think they fought in like 2018. They fought in 2011, but never had another rivalry. I think they had some chemistry, good chemistry. So I think Orton worked on the arm of Ray, and then Ray did some high flying spots. You know, he did like Orton was going for the electric chair spot off the top rope. Ray counted into a sunflip powerbomb. I think he hit multiple like hurricane runners. You know, I think Orton bled right between his like in his forehead. You know, I don't know why he got bled. You know, it beats me. So it's a really compelling match. So I felt like Ray was going for like a move at the top rope, and then Orton basically countered it with a drop kick. You know, in the end, Ray was going for like the 619. Orton counted into a roll up. He was holding the ropes without the referee sawing it, and Orton won this match. And then he's got facing the world champion at WrestleMania. He grabbed on the mic, says, "I'm gonna main event WrestleMania 22." But the world title match was not the main event. That was John Cena versus Triple H for the WWE title. Orton was basically not Orton. Ray was a bit basically distraught and disappointed. There was a backstage segment like he's disappointed. He's crying towards Chavo. I let Eddie down, and the whole stuff was bullshit. So we'll get to that at the end of this review, after I reviewed the main event. So moving on to the main event. Before that, you had Batista made his return. You know, he came back. You know, for 3 reasons. Like number one, he's missing the fans. You know, he's watching SmackDown on his sofa. Number 2, watch the main event between Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker. And number 3, he's going to come back for the world title. He did that at the end of the year. You know, he came back in the summer of 2006, fight Mark Henry, because I think Henry attacked Batista, injured his triceps, and then he went on to face King Booker for the world title at SummerSlam, won the title back at Survivor Series, and then faced The Undertaker at WrestleMania 23. So, yeah, and speaking, like I said, moving on to the main event, we had Kurt Angle defending the World Heavyweight title, against The Undertaker. Kurt won the Battle Royal for the vacant world title at I think it was the SmackDown after Batista forfeit due to a tricep injury. So, Kurt Angle won the Battle Royal to win the world title, and then he successfully defended the title against Mark Henry at the Royal Rumble the previous month. That was not a good match. He had another rematch at Judgment Day. That's not a better improvement. And then The Undertaker came out after Angle defended the title against Mark Henry. Taker rolled on a chariot, conjured lightning. The ring exploded, made Taz say, "Holy shit." Yeah, they blipped out when Taz said shit. So this match was really good. This was 30 minutes. I was completely intrigued about this match. It's a shame they had never had more rivalries, later in their careers. I think Undertaker and Kurt Angle, they really had good chemistry. some parts of the match you had Taker going for like working on the arm of Angle. The whole bulk of the match, Angle worked on the leg of the Undertaker, like slammed his leg on the ring post and locked in the figure four leg lock onto the ring post, and if he multiple times locked in the ankle lock, you're outside the ring, you hit Taker with the angle slam onto into the announce table. I was really intrigued, and Taker was locking in like the triangle hold. It will become the Hell's Gate. I think they call it the Hell's Gate in I think it was 2007 or 2008. I think it was 2008. They call it the triangle choke hold, the Hell's Gate. So yeah, he was locking in the triangle choke hold onto Angle. Like every time, like Taker locked it, attempt to hit Angle with the choke slam, but Angle counted into the ankle lock, and then Taker trying to hit the last ride. Same situation, count it into the ankle lock again. They're trying to make Angle up, Taker tap out. This was really compelling. In the end, Taker. This is one good spot. So Angle, Taker was going for the Tombstone Power Driver. Angle counted it, tried to hit his own version of the Tombstone Power Driver, but Taker counted it again. Angle once again counted into the ankle lock again. Then Taker locked into the arm. I think he locked in the triangle chokehold. You thought Undertaker was going to win the world title. Referee Nick Patrick did the. If the referee touched the unconscious wrestler who's in that hold, if you don't raise about the count when the hands drop down in the count of three, the match is officially over. Angle never gave up. He managed to. You thought he's passed out, but when Patrick trying to did it for the third time, raising his arm down, but yeah, and Angle counted it. He counted into I think it was a bridge roll up. I think it's a bridge roll up for the win. He retains the world title. And then Taker kind of he got pissed off at Nick Patrick because he thought he won the world title, but he kind of really pick up. Didn't pick up. He kind of made Kurt Angle stand up, put him against the corner, and he said I got your number. You can't take that, And it's a hint that they did a rematch. So here's the aftermath. So you never beat me, something like that. Basically there's some respect. I like the match at Survivor Series 2000 when you had the Twin Magic. Kurt brothers Eric betraying as Kurt Angle, and now this match. It's one of the best matches of 2006. So they had the rematch. So I think it was the following week. I think the following episode of SmackDown. I think they had the rematch for the world title, but that was ended in disqualification by Mark Henry. I heard the rumors they are going to. I wish they did it at WrestleMania. Undertaker Angle for the world title, but they changed plans. Undertaker had that casket match against Mark Henry. That was basically the worst streak match of the 2000s. Compared to his previous matches of the streak of that decade against Flair, Batista, Orton, Edge, Shawn Michaels. Kane was decent. Anyway, so like I said, the whole stuff with Ray is upset. He announced saying he's fucking dead, he's not going to WrestleMania. Crock of shit. So Teddy Long added Ray into that match. He was supposed to be Angle Orton, but instead a triple threat match. So Ray went on to win the world title at WrestleMania. And, go and watch my review of WrestleMania 22. Click on the playlist, classic WWE pay-per-view reviews. And you'll probably see my review of WrestleMania 22. So, I think it was the beginning of the end. It was the last time Angle retained the world title. Then he dropped the world title at WrestleMania. I think it was in April. That was the beginning of the end of Kurt Angle's, rise. Because afterwards, he's feuding with Mark Henry. Feuding with Orton. He was in ECW brand, and then he was gone. I think he was gone in September because there's backstories that Kurt Angle butt heads with Vince McMahon, and also Triple H. He was also the mastermind pushing Angle out of the company. He spent 10 years in TNA, become the star in the company. So my final rating for No Way Out 2006, I give it an 8 out of 10. The first half of the show was decent. no bad matches on the show. The only thing in the okay has to be the Cruiserweight Open match. You know, the 9-man Cruiserweight title match. The good is the good. The decent matches you had Bobby Lashley, JBL. The tag team match between Matt Hardy, Tatanka versus Eminem. But the final 3 matches of the show deliver, like the United States title match, Booker T versus Benoit, Orton versus Mysterio, and the match of the night for me were Angle versus The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. So, yeah, 8 out of 10, fair results, you know. If you got this on the network, yeah, I suggest watching No Way Out 2006. So, hope you enjoy my review of No Way Out 2006. Leave your thoughts and comments below, smash the like button, click the bell, click the like, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, let's go 9 years previously, because last year I reviewed also Royal Rumble 97, so let's review the following month's pay-per-view. I'm talking about In Your House 13, the Final 4. This is Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.